Alright. Here's the thing about this game, is that it is, it's hard. I will say that. It's also not very well designed. The balance, I think, is the balance and the way that it is difficult is the two biggest things that I have a problem with. So the balance in the game is that the turtles are just, they are not created equal. Donatello is just so much better than everyone else. It is ridiculous. I mean, his range is the highest, and his damage is also the highest. And for the majority of this game, range and damage is everything. So he's just flat out better than everyone else. Leo seems to be better only for the smallest amount of time early on, and that is because he has his attack isn't only straightforward, it has a little bit of vertical to it. Which, as long as he's one-shotting stuff, it's as useful, if not more useful, than Dawn's. But like the other turtles would have taken 5 or 6 hits to kill that guy. So the other thing that I really hate about this game is how close you are to the edge of the screen when enemies appear, which is very, very close. Which means that your time to react is very, very short when stuff appears on the screen versus when you have to react to it. And I don't know, it's hard in a very unfair way, if that makes sense. I don't know how I didn't get hit there. The hitboxes also seem to be pretty weird, particularly I'm quite annoyed at stuff that hits me, that looks like it's gonna fly over me, and then it seems to just clip you magically in the head and hurt you, even though it looks like it would just fly straight over your head in most other video games. So this is the first boss. It's very easy. All you have to do with Donatello is just down stab here. It's pretty rudimentary stuff. So as a kid, a lot of us, we had a really hard time with level 2, which is obviously coming up here in a sec, but I don't know why it's not getting hit now. There we go, now I'm in the right rhythm. There's also, you'll see later on, whenever I get hurt too much, that there's ways, whenever you completely exit an area and go back into it, you'll reset the pizzas and any power-ups that are in it. So it's a good way to top off your characters, which you'll always, you're always going to need life on characters, because taking damage just seems to be part of this game. Unless you're one of those people that has played this for hundreds of hours and have it memorized like those speedrunners do. I don't think this is a game that is worthwhile of doing that, in my opinion. Just not very fun. Okay, so here's the power-up that I'm using, the Ninja Star. It's the weakest of the 4 that you can get. The most powerful, which you'll see later, is the scrolls, which just makes everything else look like dog poo. The scrolls are just ridiculous. They're twice as much damage as Donatello, so it's essentially the equivalent of 4 hits from Mikey or Raffi, and the scrolls never disappear. They just keep flying through the entire screen. But the boomerang is pretty good. I'll get this on Leo here. It is because normally when I pick Donnie, it's because I'm using him for his normal attack, so I don't really care what specials he has. The jumping in this game is a little bit awkward. is another issue I have with it. It's not quite as awkward as Ninja Gaiden. That was, I would say, the most awkward out of the games that I've uploaded so far, but it is quite awkward. It seems like the responsiveness of how you turn direction is one of them. I guess with the best, I would say, would be any of the Mega Mans, including Mega Man 1. Just, it was... and Contra was pretty good too. Just like whichever way you press is the way that you're going to be moving in those games. And this one, not so much. It has like a little bit of a delay. There seems to be like some sort of acceleration mechanic. Oh, that's interesting. So that jump there, a little bit harder than it looks. One of the tricks that I've learned is to look at my character's feet, and then you want his feet to be at hanging over when you jump, because you can actually be hanging over a little bit before you fall. So this is the infamous level that we all had troubles with as a kid. It's actually the second easiest level in the game. This game is actually pretty linear in difficulty, and I shouldn't be using Donnie here. What the? Why did that? Did you guys just see that? Disappeared, then he immediately came back. That's some crap. So you're on a time limit. All of the turtles are created equal. So you might as well use the crappy ones like Raph. Raph and Mikey, two worst. Which is a bummer because I think those were people's favorites as a kid. Raph the fighter and Mikey the goofball. And this part isn't really that hard. It just has to do more with, there's just a couple parts where it's almost impossible to get through without getting hit. And I think that's just a little bit frustrating that you just can't not get hit. Maybe there's some people that have done it frame perfect or something. I don't know, but it seems impossible to me. So here's the part you'll see, like, how the freak do you navigate that without getting hit? Like, come on. I think it was Konami who designed this game? Come on, Konami. Also, the indicators of where the electric shards are going to come out of when they're off are very low, which is also frustrating. They could have made them bigger. They didn't. I've gotten hit actually too many times here. It's kind of embarrassing, but I should not have gotten hit this many times. Also, as you can see, a little bit of a drift that kind of pushes you to the right. That grass is a one-hit kill, so you got to be extra careful not to get hit by that grass. And if you die, you start all the way at the beginning of the level with the timer reset. Okay, so let's see, I got two, I can get hit twice here. Get hit and win. Alright, so now I can't really use Raph or Mikey. Once you lose a turtle, they're gone for good, except there's one place in the game where you can rescue one turtle that's dead. And I only found it on my one playthrough, and I didn't remember where it was, so I'm just trying to do this without losing any turtles. Oh, you also can't skip any of the cutscenes, which is annoying because especially how slow the text comes up. Another reason why this game would suck to speedrun. Yeah, I mean, this is just atrocious. Like, you can't skip this, come on. And every single time April speaks, she always ends with, "You have my support." You have my support. So just like with the swimming level, it doesn't matter what turtle you have, when you're in the truck, that turtle takes damage. So I think it's this one? Yeah, it's this one. Okay, so level 3 is where certain guys, these guys, Dawn, I mean, you just have to use Dawn on these guys. It's just really painful if you don't. And I think there's a pizza over here. Yeah, there's a pizza over here. I think I'll just get this with Dawn. You guys might be asking why I didn't get it with one of the almost dead turtles. It's because I'm not going to use them, and there's a spot in this level where I'm going to get full pizzas, and I do not need to use them to get to that point. So it doesn't matter how close they are to dead. They can stay almost dead until I get them full pizzas. Now these missiles is what I came here for. You have to get these missiles to get anywhere on this level. Once again, looking at the feet. I don't know if you guys saw that, but if you want to, you can go back and look. I was looking at his feet when I jumped. The other trick here is don't jump. I mean, that's how far you can go off, is you just don't even jump there. And then to fall, you just have to stop moving right as you get to that point. So there's just a little bit of lag, movement lag, I guess I would call it, that your character just keeps moving, keeps jumping just a tiny bit. So I'll give you guys an example of how the game works, is that when I come back over here, the pizza is not going to be there because I haven't left the area completely. Leaving the area completely would mean to go back to the overworld. Once you go back to the overworld, that's when everything resets. So this would be the overworld right here. So now if I go back into this building, the pizza is going to be there again. I do not need it at this time though, so we're going to skip it for now because there's more whole pizzas to get later in an area that we're going to farm. Some I should not be sticking on. There we go. Actually, I kind of want him to get hit now because he's going to be the only one getting pizza later. So here is, I'll show you guys one rotation of this, and after this one rotation, you guys will probably want to skip to the end of the video where I'll be fighting the last part of this. So the power-ups that I've been mentioning, you've seen me have the star, the 3-star, and the boomerang. I haven't shown you what the boomerang looks like. One of the reasons why the boomerang is so good is if you catch the boomerang on the way back, so there's the scroll to the left there. If you catch the boomerang on the way back, you actually don't lose the item, which is kind of neat. Cool mechanic. Also, the level of invincibility that the enemies have compared to what you have seems to be some disparity there. Okay, so I am going to start collecting scrolls on my two worst characters, Raph and Mikey, and I'm gonna get, let's say, 60 on each. So it's going to be a little bit boring until I get 60 scrolls on each. Okay, now this guy is sometimes here and sometimes he's not. And if he's there, it's a shame, because just past him is a free whole pizza. But you never really know if he's there or not. Or maybe you do, and some speedrunner knows a trick to him, but I do not. That scroll again. Oh, that's another thing that can kill you later in this game, is when you pick up items when you don't want to. That cost me my last run, which is why I'm still doing this run, is because I had a really good run going, and right near the end, I picked up a stupid freaking power-up on my character that had all the scrolls. And the end of the game is so hard, I do not have the skill to get past it. I don't know how you get past it without scrolls, but it seemed impossible to me. so here's that full pizza that I could not get last time. This is why we didn't care if we got Mike or Ralphie pizza, is because right there is where I'm just going to get them pizza. Okay, if you're still listening, I'm going to do this 4 more times, and I'll have 60 scrolls on my 2 crappy dudes, and then I'm going to, and all of my characters should be topped off. Yeah, if you still heard, good on you. This is kind of boring to watch. I'm just gonna do this a couple more times. I should have known better. I know not to try that jump that way. I won't be able to get that in time. Those disappear after a few seconds. Unfortunately, it's not because I went off screen, it's because after a few seconds they just disappear. I think my Leo, yeah, my Leo's the one guy who's not topped off. Alright. If you skip forward to this part, because you saw that I'm back in my truck, props. That was really boring. I really hate that part of the game. I'm not going to edit it out though, because I want this all to be, I think I want to do this in 2 videos. I want to get to into level 3, and then make a new video starting from there. It will all be one go, but there's just, this level just takes so long because of farming the scrolls. I think it would be better for people that just want to skip to there. That guy is almost impossible to dodge. And I've done this enough times, I finally have this maze figured out. So I don't know why I'm on him, I should be on somebody else. Alright, there we go. Okay, so here's this guy, he comes up, runs at you, and then goes over and parks. And he just kind of sits there. And then that's the end of that part. So now we're going to be... Let's see here. Okay, you see how much worse Leo is, and he is the second best character. Twice as many hits as Dawn. Twice as many hits to kill something. Oh, yeah, this part's really hard. I forgot about this part. The really tricky part of this is really to just not fall into these freaking sewers. And learning how to jump correctly and to not get hit. I started using scrolls here. Even though I can do it, it's a lot easier. It just reduces the amount of time that I am wasting, especially that jump right there. So now you see the power of these scrolls. Okay, that was close. I think all I have to do is make it past this dude in the night. I'm good to go, if I remember right. Okay, so I jump here. Oh no, there's more, okay. I'm glad I did not jump. Okay, so if you make it to this part, the nice thing is that you can just top off all of your dudes, because this full pizza is right here. And there are percentages of health, which is silly. I should have just made the health bar twice as big and not made enemies do percentage of health. A lot of this game, the one parallel I have to it with Battletoads is that there's a lot of times where you really don't want to be pressing anything. So just like not being overly active on the controller is how you have to get through certain parts. I wish that you could jump and catch onto the ladders, but you cannot. Also here, those red buildings are not part of the background, they are part of the foreground and part of the game. A little bit annoying, I wish they would have had a little bit better visual. Oh, I'm ready at the boss. Okay, so we're gonna switch to Mikey. Whoa! Did not expect him to move like that. Okay, scrolls. Obliterates everything, as you see. So I think what I'm going to do is, at the end of this, I'm going to stop and then upload this video, and I'll beat the game and upload the second video.